Crazy facts and stories from Norse mythology. Due to cultural reasons, Norse mythology is not as widely known in the Western world as Greek or Roman mythology, where figures like Zeus, Aphrodite, Odysseus, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus hold greater popularity thanks to classical literature. However, Nordic deities, such as Thor, have made their presence felt in Western culture due to their fantastic attributes and legendary weapons, like the magical and destructive hammer of the thunder god. Norse mythology possesses a distinctive feature that sets it apart: the god's ultimate defeat in the apocalyptic battle of Ragnarok. Unlike other mythological and religious traditions, which often depict the triumph of good over evil, the Norse narrative revolves around a conflict between chaos and order. In this singular confrontation, the forces of chaos emerge victorious over the army of order led by the gods. This theme serves as a profound metaphor, resonating with the cyclical nature of the Sun, Earth, and the entire solar system. In this video, we will delve into the rich tapestry of Norse mythology, exploring its principal deities and fantastic events leading up to the final battle. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to stay up to date with our latest updates. Number 1. The relative obscurity of Norse mythology. For cultural reasons, Norse mythology is not as widely known in the West as Greek or Roman mythology, where characters like Zeus, Aphrodite, Odysseus, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus are more popular due to classical literature. Nevertheless, Norse gods like Thor became present in Western culture through their fantastic attributes and weapons, such as the magical and devastating hammer of the thunder god. Norse mythology has a unique characteristic that sets it apart. In the battle of the end of the world, Ragnarok, the gods are destined to be defeated. This contrasts with other mythological and religious traditions, centered on the struggle between good and evil, where good typically triumphs. In the Norse tradition, chaos will emerge victorious over the army of order, led by the gods. This serves as a metaphor aligned with the eventual fate of the Sun, the Earth, and the entire solar system. Number 2. Supernatural creatures in Norse mythology. The Norse mythology universe is depicted as a flat disk situated within the branches of Yggdrasil, the perennial ash tree or tree of life, which holds the 9 worlds. Among its inhabitants are various supernatural creatures, including the dragon Nighthawk and the unnamed eagle, who continuously gnaws at Yggdrasil's roots and perches on its highest branch, respectively. The squirrel Ratatosk scurries between the tree's roots and top, spreading false news and sowing discord between the dragon and the eagle. Number 3. The realm of the gods and the bridge of the rainbow. The gods of Norse mythology resided in Asgard, a high region in the sky reachable only by crossing the Bifrost, a rainbow bridge guarded by Heimdall, the white god. Heimdall carried a great horn that he blew to announce the crossing of any Aesir or Vanir, the 2 groups of Norse gods. Niflheim, also known as the home of mist, is the realm of darkness and cold beneath Yggdrasil's roots and ruled by Hel, the goddess of death and daughter of Loki, himself the offspring of the giant Farbauti. Number 4. The high-ranking gods and the All-Father Odin. The highest-ranking gods in Norse mythology were the Aesir, among whom Odin, the All-Father, held the utmost importance. Tyr, often associated with Mars in other mythologies, was one of the 9 worlds, situated in Asgard. It was home to the light elves or luminous elves. Jotunheim, another of the 9 worlds, was the residence of the dark elves. These elves, both male and female, were young, beautiful creatures living in caves, forests, and springs, gifted with magical powers. Number 5. The mighty Odin and his symbols of power. Odin, also known as Wotan, transcends as the chief god of some neo-pagan religions. He is considered the supreme deity of Norse mythology and holds a significant place in Germanic neo-paganism. Odin's role is multifaceted. He is the god of war, wisdom, death, and, to a lesser extent, poetry, prophecy, magic, home, and victory. His palace is Valaskjalf, constructed in Asgard, where his throne, Lyskolf, grants him the ability to observe all the 9 worlds. In battle, Odin wields his spear called Gungnir and rides the 8-legged steed Sleipnir. Number 6, Thor's mighty hammer. One of the most popular mythological weapons in the Western world is Thor's hammer. As the god of thunder and strength, Thor wields Mjolnir, a formidable hammer. Forged by the dwarves Sindri and Brokra, who won a bet with Loki, Mjolnir is feared throughout Norse mythology. While commonly referred to as a hammer, Mjolnir is sometimes described as a mace, a club, or an axe. Regardless, it serves Thor well in his battles, capable of delivering blows ranging from gentle taps to mountain-shattering strikes. Number 7, Baldur's tragic vulnerability. Baldur, the son of Odin, is the god of peace, forgiveness, and light in Norse mythology. His mother, the goddess Frigg, made him invulnerable to all forms of harm, except for one, mistletoe. Loki, seeking to cause harm, discovered this weakness. Disguised as an old woman, he inquired of Frigg if Baldur was indeed invulnerable. Upon confirming the truth, Loki fashioned an arrow from mistletoe and tricked Baldur's blind brother, Hod, into shooting it, fatally wounding Baldur. Number 8, Loki's punishment and fratricidal tragedy. For his role in Baldur's death, Odin punished Loki by binding him to 3 stones and placing a serpent above him, which constantly dripped venom on his face. Loki's pain was so excruciating that his writhing caused earthquakes. Additionally, Hod, who inadvertently killed Baldur, met his end when he was slain by his half-brother Vali, another son of Odin. Vali was the god of archery and had unerring aim, similar to the rays of the sun depicted as arrows in Norse mythology. Number 9, the hospitable Bragi, and Idun. Bragi, known as the god of the slanting beard, was revered as the god of poetry and bards in Norse mythology. He was the husband of Idun, an important goddess who guarded the apples of eternal youth in Asgard. The apples were eaten by the gods to retain their youthfulness and vigor. Bragi was responsible for offering a welcoming cup to newcomers in Valhalla, the grand hall in Asgard, where fallen warriors were feasted and honored. Incidentally, a mountain on Venus was named after him, further immortalizing his legacy. Number 10, Vidar, the Silent Avenger and the Battle of Ragnarok. Vidar, the god of silence, justice, and vengeance, was the son of Odin and the giantess Grid. In the Prose Edda, he is referred to as the Silent God and is destined to avenge Odin after the supreme god is devoured by the wolf Fenrir during Ragnarok. According to the Völuspá, the 3rd poem of the Poetic Edda, Vidar kills the colossal beast by stepping on its jaw with a shoe made from strengthened leather and tearing it apart with his bare hands. Another version found in the Völuspá, the 1st poem of the Poetic Edda, states that Vidar kills Fenrir by stabbing it in the heart with his sword, Lavetnir. Vidar's mother, Grid, saves Thor by providing him with various magical objects when the thunder god faces the giant Hrungnir without his hammer. Number 11, Forseti, the god of justice and mediation. Forseti, the son of Baldur and the goddess Nanna, was the deity of close combat, and the embodiment of wisdom and eloquence among the Aesir. Unlike his companion, Tyr, who favored violence, Forseti preferred mediation and persuasion in resolving disputes. His convincing eloquence served him well when he sat in the hall of his residence, Glitnir, dispensing justice to all who sought it. He was renowned for providing solutions that the conflicting parties deemed fair. Forseti gained such respect that solemn oaths were made in his name, and those brought before him trusted they would retain their lives as long as they upheld his judgments. Number 12, Frigg, the all-seeing queen of the Aesir. Frigg, wife of Odin and mother of several of his children, was the goddess of the sky, love, fertility, marriage, home management, domestic arts, and foresight. Regarded as the counterpart to Hera in Greek mythology, she possessed the ability to see into the future, though she seldom revealed what she knew. Apart from Odin, she was the only one allowed to sit on his throne and observe the 9 worlds. Frigg participated alongside Odin in the Wild Hunt, a spectral procession of the gods. At times, she is mentioned as both Thor's stepmother and sister. Accompanying her is Air, a goddess of healing and health, as well as the celestial messenger Fulla, who promotes women's fertility. Number 13, Balder, Frey, and Freya, beloved children of Odin. Balder was the beloved son of Odin and a god of peace, forgiveness and light. He was rendered invulnerable by his mother, the goddess Frigg, to all forms of harm, except for mistletoe. Loki, seeking to cause harm, discovered this weakness and orchestrated Balder's tragic demise. Frey and Freya, siblings of Balder, were also children of Odin and prominent deities in Norse paganism. Frey, the lord of fertility, governed rain and the rising sun. He wielded the powerful sword Sumabran, which moved on its own during battle. Frey exchanged the sword for the love of the beautiful giantess Jethra. Additionally, he possessed the boar Gullinbursti, a golden swine that illuminated the night and pulled a chariot at the speed of a galloping horse. Frey was revered by the elves and, according to proto-history, was the first king of the ancient Scandinavian dynasty, ruling until the Viking Age. Number 14, Freya, the enigmatic goddess of Norse mythology. Freya, considered the most prominent deity in Norse paganism, is described as the goddess of love, fertility, and beauty. Alongside her brother Frey, she forms the 2 principal goddesses of Norse mythology and is invoked for happiness in love, successful childbirth, and good seasons. She is also associated with war, magic, wealth, prophecy, and death. According to some sources, half of the fallen warriors in battle were received by her in her hall, Sessrumnir, while the other half went to Odin's Valhalla. Freya is credited with creating Seda, the magical spells or sorcery of Norse paganism, which she taught to the gods. Number 15, the union of the Aesir and the Vanir. The distinction between the Aesir and the Vanir, the 2 groups of Norse gods, is relative. The Aesir are often portrayed as warriors, while the Vanir are seen as peaceful, but some gods belong to both factions. Initially, they were part of a single divine entity that later separated, and Freya started gaining popularity due to the similarities in her name and attributes with Frey. Scholars of Norse mythology, like the 20th century French historian and mythologist Georges Dumézil, emphasized the earthly character of the Vanir, who were concerned with climate, agriculture, and harvests, while the Aesir were presented as more spiritual deities. Number 16, Frey and Freya as hostages. After the Aesir defeated the Vanir in a long war, a peace treaty was reached, involving an exchange of hostages and intermarriages between members of both groups of gods. As a result, Freya and Freya, along with their father Njord, became hostages of the Aesir, while Hoenir, Odin's brother, enjoyed a privileged position in the Vanaheim. This division of divinities in the Norse pantheon has parallels with the division of Titans and Olympians in Greek mythology, as well as the great Hindu epic Mahabharata. Number 17, the birth of the Jotnar, the frost giants. According to Norse mythology, the first living being to emerge from the primordial chaos, Ginnungagop, was Ymir, a giant. While Ymir slept, a son and a daughter, also giants, were born from his armpit. From his feet grew a 6-headed monster. This marked the origin of the race of frost giants, inhabitants of the icy and dark realm known as Jotunheim. The giants represent the forces of primordial chaos and untamed nature, while the gods embody culture and order. In contrast to the gods, the giants symbolize the natural anarchy, and they are destined to clash in the final battle, Ragnarok. Number 18, the influence of the Jotnar on Norse mythology. The distinction between the Aesir and the giants, Jotnar, is not absolute, and some giants possess both beneficial and malicious traits. Scholars have pointed out that this division reflects the separation of Indo-European divinities in Norway, akin to the case of the Titans and the Olympians in Greek mythology. The giants are closely connected to the forces of nature, such as weather, agriculture, and harvests, while the Aesir are more focused on spiritual aspects. Number 19, the epic battle of Ragnarok and the forces of chaos. The Jotnar play a crucial role in the prophesied Battle of Ragnarok, the end of the world in Norse mythology. This cosmic battle will see the forces of chaos led by Loki and the giants against the gods, ultimately leading to the destruction of the world, and its subsequent rebirth. The gods, led by Odin and Thor, will fight fiercely but are destined to be defeated. Vidar, Odin's silent son, will avenge his father by killing the wolf Fenrir, who consumes Odin during the battle. The cataclysmic events of Ragnarok will pave the way for a new world to emerge, with the cycle of life and death continuing endlessly in the cosmos. Number 20, Giants in the Battle of Ragnarok. The giants will play a significant role in the apocalyptic Battle of Ragnarok. Some of the gods, like Thor, have giant ancestry, as they descend from the Jotun giants through intermingling with them. There are various types of giants, including the ice giants and fire giants, both of whom hold a hostile relationship with the gods. In the final battle, giants such as Surtur and Rim will lead the army of destruction, with Surtur being the ruler of the fire giants and the sovereign of their realm. Their hordes will charge northward like austral winds, seeking to crush the gods in Ragnarok. Number 21, the symbolism of order versus chaos in Norse mythology. Unlike other mythologies, which often depict the struggle between good and evil, the narrative of Norse mythology revolves around the battle between order and chaos. The gods of Norse mythology are complex characters, not reducible to the duality of good and evil. For instance, Loki, initially considered Odin's blood brother, orchestrates Baldur's assassination, revealing that he is not exclusively an adversary to the gods. The giants may be hostile, but they are fundamentally wild, rough, and tempestuous. The gods represent structure and order, while the giants and beasts embody disorder and chaos. In conclusion, the fantastical and extraordinary world of Norse mythology rivals the richness and appeal of Greek and Roman myths. It continues to captivate audiences worldwide, inviting them to explore its intricate tales of gods, giants, and heroes. As we delve into the depths of these ancient stories, let us remember the importance of knowing our history to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past. We hope this video has been informative and enjoyable. If you have anything to add, please share it with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video and share the link with your family and friends so they can also learn more about the 21 intriguing and crazy things about Norse mythology. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, make sure to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We'll be back soon with more curiosities from history.